Keep the Bible on cop. The Most High is my rock.
TK.
Rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. My rock. The Most High is my rock. In the name of Messiah, the Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is my rock. Yeah. The Most High is my rock. I keep my Bible on cop. The Most High is my rock. No time for cupcake and the cutling. Hit the streets and start cutting. The Israelites are bubbling. The Israelites are coming. I don't celebrate Thanksgiving. You can keep the stuffing. It's pagan, disdain, it's vain, it's nothing. The European Union about to hit the button. And I feel sorry for you if you think the Lord is bluffing. That's why I hit the booth and I tell the truth. Are you fishing with the truth? Homie, where's your fruit? If the Most High is your rock, don't treat him like a side piece. Come in this truth plan and treat you like a side piece. He's the God of mercy and wrath. So do you wanna fly or do you keep the Bible on cop? The Most High is my rock.
TK.
Rock. The Most High is my rock. The Most High is.
Shalom Yasharala.
Shalom.
Israel. Welcome to another class here at ISHBK. We're located here in Houston. We're located here in Houston, Texas. School address is 8524 South Grazer Boulevard, Houston, Texas. Zip code 77071. Class days and times is Mondays and Wednesdays from 7. Excuse me. Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 to 9 p.m. Friday from 6 to 8 p.m. And Saturday Shabbat morning classes from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
You're not gonna do the sneezing thing, are you?
I hope not. And Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then we also have a school in Virginia. The address out there is 2610 Granby Street, Norfolk, Virginia. Zip code 23517. Class days and times out there is Tuesdays and Thursdays and Fridays from 7 to 9 p.m. That's Eastern time. And also we got the school out in San Antonio, Texas as well. And the address out there is 4444 Walls Road, Suite 201, San Antonio, Texas. Zip code 78218. And also for the school out in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yes, the address there is.
Shalom Israel. The school address in Albuquerque, New Mexico is 7710 Suite F, Manal Boulevard Northeast, Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87110, being the zip code out there. They do get together for class every Monday and Wednesday from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And then they get together on Fridays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. to go over the Torah readings. Saving Saturdays to Sabbath day, starting at 1 p.m. To do the feast days. They get together, all the families get together and have a feast. As commanded in Leviticus chapter 23, verse 3 and verse 4, we're supposed to have a feast and a holy convocation. So one thing the families do work on there in Albuquerque is every Saturday for the Sabbath, they do the Torah readings the night before. So the Sabbath, they get together and just have a feast. And then they have it at a park somewhere, some outdoor venue where the kids can run around. There's swings, there's playground equipment. The kids can do their things. The sisters gather around in sisterhood and brotherhood families, and we all just eat together. All right. So again, that's Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. 7710 Suite F, Manal Boulevard Northeast, Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87110.
Yes, sir. And we'll like to remind you, brothers and sisters, about the Passover coming up on the 12th of April. Again, the Passover is coming up on the 12th of April. Today is the 11th.
And just to clear it up, we're actually gathering on the 12th, April 12th. The actual Passover is April 8th. Right? The actual Passover is April 8th. But the venue that we're having in San Antonio, where we can all congregate together, is Sunday, April 12th.
Got it.
All right, and that's when we actually just be able to get together and congregate and celebrate the Passover meal, celebrate Yahweh Shai's deliverance and all that. Okay, that's gonna be April 12th, but the actual Passover is April 8th. Right, so I know that some people have started, as they're looking and seeing some of the other channels, like, well, they started their Passover here, they started Passover there. No, the Passover is April 8th, but we're actually getting together and congregating April 12th at the address.
Yeah, we do it April 12th because everybody got that day off. It's a day off for everybody.
Not for Easter. It's not for
It's
everybody.
not for Easter or anything like
It's
that.
not for that. It's
It's 'cause
everybody
everything's
has time off.
closed. Right, malls are closed, banks, everything's closed. So that's the one day where we feel that we can get everybody together in one building.
Got it. Okay. So the address where we're gonna be holding it is gonna be in San Antonio. It's gonna be at the La Fonta Springs Event Center. Address being 27618 Natural Bridge Caverns Road, San Antonio, Texas. Zip code 78266. If you're attending, we ask that you please RSVP, meaning reserve your seats, and that'll be in the chat. And also, the brother Rashad right here to my right, he does the Blog Talk Radio every Tuesday and Thursday starting at 9:30 a.m. That's blogtalkradio.com/Mashapa. And Israel Ware, of course, is not taking any orders until after the Passover. But we're still selling French shirts in the school departments. And if you'd like to contact any of the priests, got Priest Patazab, his number is 303-557-8979. Priest Kazaka, his number is 281-707-2737. We also ask that you support our business. The business is sweetambiance.com. Again, the business is sweetambiance.com. And if you'd like to send any donations, the Wells Fargo account number is on the screen. The Google Wallet link is on the screen as well. And you can mail in anything, but we ask before you mail that you do contact somebody so we can send you a nice address to send it to. So with that, that's going to be the end of the announcements. So with that, we're going to open it up for class.
Yeah, we're gonna let Mr. Rashad get into his class. Should be a good one. All right, so if you got questions, just hold them. I'm getting a lot of questions answered lately, so we gotta switch it up a little bit. Sometimes we gotta go into these classes or do questions. So, what's today?
Today's Wednesday.
Wednesday, right?
Wednesday the 11th.
Today's Wednesday, so y'all know Fridays we do class also where y'all can get y'all's questions answered. Saturday, Shabbat, we do questions also. So we'll let him get into his class today, okay? Okay.
And again, Shalom Israel. Hopefully we had a chance to send the link out that the show has actually started. We want to go ahead and get as many likes as possible. Not just because I'm on the show today, but we want to make sure we want to get as many likes as possible. So even if you tune in for 5 seconds, 5 minutes, whatever, tune in and hit the like button. All right. We have to get the YouTube algorithm. We have to get that. I don't even know what word to use. We have to get that going. Right. We have to get that going. And what's happening is there's some great classes that have been taught on all of our YouTube media, and it needs to be more in the public access, where when you first pull up YouTube, it's one of the first videos coming up in the venue. That's only going to happen if we get the number of views comparable to the number of likes. All right, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. So as you send it out to whoever, just tell them open the show and hit like. They should watch the show and get some information, but we need the views and the likes. We gotta get it way up. All right, we gotta get it way up. So help us out with that. The knowledge that's being put out, the information that's being put out, it's excellent. And I'm not saying that as one of the teachers, as a student, this is some great information that's going on there. One thing that ISBHPK really strives to do is make sure that we understand that we're getting the wisdom and the understanding from the Most High, the wisdom, understanding from the Scriptures, in a practical way, in a way that you can really apply this knowledge and this understanding in your life, and no matter what walk of life you're in. All right, and that's one thing that this channel strives to do, and completely understanding when Christ said, "Let the weak go up the tares." We don't know who's who. All right, But we know that the law of the Most High is beneficial for anybody who wants to keep the law. The laws of the Most High, you could be whoever you might be, whatever nationality. If you keep the laws of the Most High, it's going to work for you. Now, you're not going to be delivered. If you're an actual nation, you might not be delivered with the final deliverance that's coming. Might not be. But universal public knowledge, you can apply this knowledge in any aspect of your life, and it's going to work.
Yes, sir.
Right? It's going to work.
That's
So, as opposed to just trying to single out people or exclude certain people, like when Christ taught, let's be real about it. When Christ taught, many people heard his word. Israelites, Gentiles, whoever. And as many times he did say, whoever has ears to hear, let him hear. So even to the Israelites, he said, whatever you get it. Whatever you walk away with is what you walk away with. So, and yeah, I'm not on a pilgrimage or whatever of saving all people. That's not my job. Our job here at ISBHPK, as well as all Hebrew Israelites, is to put the word of Christ out. Christ said, "Wake up the watchman," and we're supposed to blow the trumpet, blow the alarm. Keep finding the scripture. It's in Ezekiel. To the watchman, we're supposed to blow the alarm. That's what the Most High set us up to do. So that again, that's the purpose of our classes. Whether it's here with the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge Live, whether it's with ISBHPK Norfolk Live, it was with the Hidden Truth Bible Show, YouTube. You have the I was looking for the one you mentioned. It's Hebrew Media
Or Israelite Media Source?
or Israelite Media Source.
Israelite Media Corp.
Corp. Right, Israelite Media Corp. All right. ISBHPK Kids. What else are we going on? We got the Blog Talk.
5 minutes of wisdom.
5 minutes of wisdom. I know San Antonio's in the process of getting their YouTube channels back up again. ISBHPK SAT. As soon as I get back to Albuquerque, it'll be ISBHPK ABQ. That we have a lot of work that we got to get together. You find the scripture?
Yes, sir.
That we got to get together. So if you can read this for me real quick.
God, it's Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word of my mouth, and give them warning from me. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity. But his blood will I require at thine hand.
Okay.
Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity.
So as watchmen, this is what the Most High set us up as to be as watchmen. Watchmen, as we're going to tonight's class, as also being pilgrims, that we have to understand that what is it we're supposed to be watching? Right? What's the things that we're supposed to be watching? As we're dealing with right now the coronavirus, that's in the news today, and then he's dealing with Trump being come up for re-election and the Bernie Sanders war and all that type of stuff between those two, and the socialist versus democracy, and all I'm seeing some of that stuff now. We're seeing the mentioning of the stock market, is going to crash again or what have you. And we're seeing all these type of things. Many of us are familiar with Matthew 24 chapter.
God.
But we also got to be familiar with how Esau, or how the society is very deceptive. And by that, I just want to give us to watch out that there's also a lot of propaganda they put out also.
Yes, sir.
Right? There's a lot of propaganda they put out also, because I was watching one on YouTube, not YouTube, but Facebook. It was the Zika virus. It was the Asian bird flu. It's the SARS. It's the mad cow, Ebola. That almost every 2 years there's another disease that's supposed to be wipe out the whole planet. And what the society will do is they'll put and oversensitize people with all this information, so it gets us as Israelites still lulled into a sleep. We'll still get lulled into I've heard this before, and then you start seeing on Facebook and other social media platforms, Instagram, you start seeing people talking about you know what, all these wars, there's always been wars, so why is Matthew 24 going on now? Earthquakes, there's always been earthquakes. So I'm not going to get to this mindset that now all these earthquakes, and now all of a sudden now there's always been earthquakes, and you get people that will start to really they're tired of being so on high alert all the time, and they'll start to get numb, and then you start hearing the Israelites say, well, we don't know when he's gonna come. Nobody really knows when the time is. That's a scripture, it does say that. But they'll get lulled into this sense of sleep. And I want to go over some of the scriptures tonight. This sense of sleep to where you're more worried about, to where eventually you really are more worried about your credit than you worried about the prophecy of the Most High. You're more worried about how you living and what you're living and what you're going to spend with your income tax than what you're doing with the Most High. And you've sold yourself to stop your mind that nobody knows when he's coming. Nobody knows when he's coming, so we might as well, get comfortable. No Israelite wants to say get comfortable, because we're Israelites. So we'll say, what's some buzzwords we say? That I'm still in there, but I'm not in there really. I be thinking about y'all all the time. How many people got to school now? Which seal are we in? Which prophecy are we in? Hey, is that martial law about to break out? Because from especially from like the 80s and 90s, that was the whole thing that had us going by the year 2000, Y2K. That was another thing that was that it's going to be like Mad Max in the Thunderdome. It's going to be like Cyborg. It's going to be like just out here just. Viggo Mortensen had a apocalypse movie too. I forget which with his son. That he's gonna be out here. There's gonna be no food. The sun's gonna just be baking everybody. You got to fight for water and to fight for all this, and the way what's presented in the media is not how the Most High is gonna bring it.
Yeah.
I mean, we really have been sold on what we see in media, in movies, in television, that we're still looking for that. We're looking for Red Dawn. If you remember all the way back to in the 80s, and then they redid it. We're still thinking that warfare is gonna come like that. And it's funny because I was watching Doomsday Preppers today, and one of the guys on Doomsday Preppers, he mentioned Red Dawn. That he thinks it's gonna be like Red Dawn. So his plan for getting around the city is to travel through the sewer systems.
Oh, damn. Wow.
Okay, but you know that they have the infrared now. They can see through the earth and see people. You know that, right? And do you think he was a hillbilly? I'm gonna say it like that. Do you think your hillbilly ass is like, if you can think about it, do you think they ain't gonna see you on Doomsday Preppers? Like, where's his family at? Let's check the sewers. The wisdom of this world really is foolish with the Most High. So I want to make sure that we're not getting lulled into a sense of sleep. That we're not getting lulled into a sense of being so desensitized that even it says in the scriptures, I think it's Thessalonians, it talks about, since the fathers passed away, all things continue as they were. And that's 2 Peter chapter 3. You get that? 2 Peter chapter 3 and start verse 1.
2 Peter chapter 3, verse 1.
All right.
This second epistle, beloved, I now write unto you, in both which I stir up your pure minds by way of remembrance,
Right.
that ye may be mindful of the words which were spoken before by the holy prophets, and of the commandment of us, the apostles of the Lord and Savior.
And in that scripture right there, there's a few key words we're going to key in on today as we go into this class. It talks about the prophets. What does a prophet do? A prophet prophesies.
Okay.
And part of tonight's class that I want to get into also is the power of the Most High. Yes, the sun is powerful. You woke up this morning, you're breathing. That was powerful. You saw a rainbow today. That was powerful. I'm not taking away any of those things from the Most High. But the Most High's true power is His word. And by that I'm talking about when He gives a prophecy, nothing can change it. When He prophesies something's going to happen, absolutely nothing can change it. Yes, we know that if you're sick and God says, be healed, you'll be healed. No doubt. But let's not forget. Doesn't the scripture tell us in Revelations? I don't want to go there, but doesn't it say in Revelation how the false prophet was given power by the devil to do miracles and also heal the sick? We see what the evangelists all the time do, where they can take their jacket off and swing it, and people fall and they're supposed to be healed. If you touch the TV screen right now, you're gonna be healed. I see this one TV evangelist. This dude was trying to justify why he had plastic surgery. He said the reason he got plastic surgery is for all the prayer requests that came into his ministry, and he would lay on top of all the envelopes, and from the envelopes he got ink poisoning from how many envelopes is coming, and it developed bags under his eyes. So that's why he had to get plastic surgery. And people fell for it. If you can heal people, you can't heal yourself with
God. Wow.
but you had to get plastic surgery. But they have power to heal. The devils even have that. But what's the one thing the devil doesn't have? The devil can't prophesy.
Ooh.
Right? The devil can't tell you the future. The devil can't tell you what's going to happen in the future and why it's going to happen. And the exact way it's going to happen. The devil can't do that. But hell, even the Egyptians, going back to ancient Egypt, weren't they able to match some of the miracles and some of the plagues that Moses brought? Yeah, they were. They were able to use their God, and they could turn some of the water to blood also. Remember, when Moses threw his staff down, what did Janus and Jambres do? They threw their staffs down. When Moses threw his staff down to a serpent, what did they do? They threw their staffs down and turned to a serpent. So, remember in Isaiah chapter 14, I'm not going to go through all that, but remember, Isaiah 14 tells you that the devil is going to sit as the Most High, claiming that he is the Most High. From the heart machine, where we know they cannot control the weather and do stuff like that, we know that they have that technology. And another part of Ezekiel says that there's no wisdom that should be hid from this last kingdom, this last empire. So they got the wisdom to set off earthquakes. They got wisdom to set off weather changes. They've got this type of wisdom. They've got the sonic weapons where they can kill you with sound. They've got the biological weapons. They got the lasers. I've even seen on Facebook now and YouTube, and y'all been seeing it. They actually got like the Terminator robots that you can hit these dudes with a bat. I saw this with this one video. They would see these dudes with bats, and they weren't even falling.
Shooting them?
They were shooting them, and then a friendly whatever would get in front of the robot. The robot would stop shooting until the friendly got out the way, and they would keep going again. They've got and these were like human-looking robots. I've seen they already got like dog-looking robots, animal-type-looking robots, to where you cannot knock them over. You know, we think that like if I see a robot dog coming in, I'm just kick it over. Ain't gonna happen. So they have all this technology. They have all these type of things, but the one thing they don't have is to be able to tell the future. The one thing they don't have is to be able to say this is gonna happen just like this to this people like this. They don't have the power to do that, and that's why people go trying to get their palms read, trying to find the future. Doesn't work. They try and read the monkey bones or the chicken bones or what have you, and it doesn't work. All right, you're gonna find love. Why do so many people get into the horoscopes? Today you're gonna find this love, and you know what? Don't wear blue today because your Capricorn is gonna be meeting some Chinese mouse, monkey, dog, whatever, and y'all gonna meet. No, it don't work. Even in Isaiah chapter 47, as we read the other day, in Isaiah chapter, the whole 47th chapter, the Most High is telling this last kingdom, Babylon, so-called America, whatever enchantment, wizardry, sorcery, monthly prognosticator, you think you can get that's going to help you, get it. If you think it's going to help you, then get it. Because just like the Most High rose up Moses, raised up Pharaoh, to show his power, the Moses said, I'm raising you up for the exact same thing. So to think that America or this last kingdom doesn't have technology, doesn't have warfare, doesn't have things that we can't even imagine, they do. But it's for one purpose. For the Most High to show his power. Show us, the Israelites, his power. That as much as we still trust in America, We still trust in the things of America. That the Most High is coming ready to come back and show us that He is the highest. So that His name, so that He gets a rep back in the earth with us. Because right now, so we've been here in the Americas, all we know is the white man's technology. That's why we trust the government so much.
Yeah.
They got answers. They gonna come up with a solution. They gonna do something we really got to the point from the 50s and 60s of civil rights. We went from that era to the era we in now, where if you can't beat them, join them. Jay-Z, come on, you was a nigga from the hood. You a nigga from the hood that was out there slinging, understanding the struggle. One of your songs was "It's a Hard Knock Life for Us." To where now you an NFL owner, and you clowning Colin Kaepernick.
No, he's not an owner.
Part owner.
He's in charge of their media, music wise.
Oh, he's in charge of the media music wise.
Yeah.
To push him to a billionaire.
Yeah.
Okay. You done gotten solved.
Mm-hmm.
You done gotten solved. So this is what we're going to get into today. So let's finish reading that, Peter, and tell everybody where you're at again.
2 Peter chapter 3, verse 3.
Go ahead.
Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers.
It tells you, this is one thing we've got to know. In these last days, there's going to be scoffers. Can somebody look that word up for me real quick? What does it mean to be a scoffer? And this is what we want to be careful of, Israelites. This is one thing we definitely want to be careful of. That we don't become the scoffers.
It says, one that mocks, derides, or reproaches in the language of contempt.
And what this means is, to try to put it in layman's words, make it easy. Man, Christ ain't coming. Man, we don't know when Christ is gonna get here, so we might as well go ahead and just do what we gotta do. That's somebody that's scoffing the knowledge. And the reason I'm saying that is because we're scoffing the prophecies. That's why I want to make sure that I want to try and angle tonight's class with, that we get people that scoff the prophecies. That people start making fun of the prophecies, like, man, but there's been sickness from the beginning. There's been wars from the beginning. So why is it different now? There's been wars and rumors of wars from the beginning. So why is it any different now? That first of y'all saw Y2K. That came and gone. So who knows? There's going to be scoffers not paying attention to the prophecies. Reading on.
Walking after their own lust.
And this is the reason why they're scoffing, because there's things they want to get done. They have their own bucket lists of things they want to accomplish. They went from owning land, real estate, getting the high credit score. And I'm not saying that those things are bad, as we look through some of these scriptures, but you make that your whole focus now. When's the last time, as much as you study real estate books or study the stock market, when's the last time you opened your book and studied the Bible? As much as you study futures and whatever else is out there, when's the last, when I say futures, I'm talking about stocks still and bonds. When's the last time you opened your Bible up and studied the words of the Most High? When was that? As you make sure you got your fringes on, as you make sure if you're a man, you're wearing your beard, you're wearing your dress, when's the last time you opened your book and was studying the words of the Most High, so that you might know where we're at with the prophecies? Reading on.
Verse 4. And saying, where is the promise of his coming?
Where's the promise of his coming? Where's the Most High at? Go ahead.
For since the fathers fell asleep,
Since the elders, since one west fell, since this went down, since that went down, since the fathers went to sleep, go ahead.
all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation.
Everything's continued as it was. Ain't nothing different. But it tells you the person that has that type of mentality is, the scripture calls what? A scoffer.
Right.
Nothing gonna change. We don't know when he's gonna come. Every day is the same. What's that? S.O.S. I ain't gonna say everything, but S.O.S. You gotta understand that you're starting to get influenced the wrong way when you start having that mentality. When this starts to get boring, when it starts to get mundane and routine, you gotta check yourself. What spirit are you letting creep on you?
I have some synonyms.
Cool, bring it up.
It says to make light of.
Making light of from how they talk about brothers on YouTube, the Power Rangers with our garments, the purple gold, or you let somebody run your mind. It's an occult. All the different type of stuff people are saying. That if you're not careful, you'll start to listen to this stuff.
Yeah.
This stuff at first you'll shut it down. That's what we all and we all get affected by it. Me myself.
Got it.
We all get the guard up at first, but after a while, these start to get kind of mundane. It starts to get kind of routine, and your guard is not as up. And the wiles of the devil, the darts of the devil, they start to poke. They start to pierce. You know, even when Captain America fought Thanos, at first the shield was holding up until when he kept adding to what it pierced through, it broke through, and that's how the Satan and his darts will work if we're not careful.
Can I get one just to add?
Don't you dare look. As
Just
long as
to
I'm
add.
ever in Houston, don't you dare ask, can you get one?
Just to add,
I'm in your house.
Isaiah 5 and verse 19. And this is on the opposite end, where it's still that scoffing, still that mundane, but they do it in a different way. Read verse 18, Isaiah 5:18. Check this out.
Isaiah chapter 5, verse 18.
Go ahead.
Woe unto them that draw iniquity with cords of vanity,
Go ahead.
and sin as it were with a cart rope,
So what does it talk about? Read verse 19.
that say,
What do they say? Go ahead.
let him make speed
Right?
and hasten his work.
But you got those too, like, oh yeah, well, if God is real, make him strike lightning down right now. Right?
Yes.
If God is real, then make this happen. Didn't Satan go to Yahweh Shai and say, listen, if you're the son of God, command this rock to be turned into bread.
Oh, that's a beautiful one.
Let me see it happen now. Some are like, well, ain't nothing changed. Some are like, well, no, but we don't believe it until we see it. We need a sign. Right? What does it say? A wicked and slothful?
Only a wicked and sinful
Only
generation.
right? Only, right? Needeth a sign. Read on. Watch. Go ahead.
That we may see it,
Right?
and let the counsel of the Holy One of Israel draw nigh and
Right.
come.
Let the counsel of the Holy One. You see how they mock, how they scoff. Oh, let the counsel of the Holy One draw nigh. Let the things that He said He was going to do, let it happen now.
And that's a beautiful point. What you saying that, and Tawada. Because didn't it say that to Yahweh Shai, to Christ, as He was on the cross?
Come.
As He was going through that tribulation, going through that affliction, going through that persecution, didn't they say the exact same thing to Him? Well, if you really are the Son of the Most High, if the Most High is really with you, cast yourself off that cross now, heal yourself, and then the devil will know it's really you.
Yep.
And that's a sad thing, because we'll keep this on point, but give me Revelation 2 and 9.
Yeah, I didn't want to throw you.
No, we're good. This is all good. I like the energy. I love this energy. Let's get Revelation chapter 2, verse 9 real quick.
Revelation chapter 2, verse 9.
Go ahead.
I know thy works, and tribulation, and poverty.
Now, for those that are reading a Bible, and your Bible has the words of Christ in red, are these words in red?
God.
Yes. So who is speaking?
Yahweh Shai.
In Hebrew, knows Yahweh Shai. In English, Jesus Christ. He's speaking. And what does he say? Read it again, on.
Verse 9. I know thy works.
Christ said he knows what?
Thy works.
He knows our works. Go ahead.
And tribulation.
Our tribulation. Go ahead.
And poverty.
And poverty. Now, I want to hit this point right here. A lot of people get this mindset that now, once I know Jesus, or once I'm around Bible believers, everything's supposed to get easy. Everything's supposed to that from what I was taught religion, that we got Jesus, it's supposed to be the yellow brick road. That once I got Jesus, all my bills supposed to be paid. That I just want to live comfortable. I'm supposed to be at peace right now. But what is Yahweh Shai saying? What is Christ saying in the last book of the Bible? The revealing of Him.
Oh.
What is He saying? I know your what?
Thy works.
So for a lot of people saying, man, why do we gotta work so hard?
Oh. God.
What is Yahweh Shai? What is Christ saying right here?
I'm watching you.
He knows your work. He knows our works. So when we're trying to let that thought creep in, why I gotta be so hard? Well, what did Christ say? He knows your works. So let's make sure are we bathing that filthy Christian spirit, Christianity spirit? Are you bathing it out of your spirit, out of your mind? Let me say it properly. Are you bathing that filthy Christianity demon out of your spirit? Because that's what it is. That everything's supposed to get easy now. And it's supposed to be good. So then, and I know I repeat these a lot because I want to make sure it sinks in. He knows our works and our what?
And tribulation.
And tribulation. Did that say heaven?
No.
Did that say pleasure?
No.
Did that say comfort?
No.
No. He knows our works and our tribulation. Read.
And poverty.
And poverty. I don't know how many Israelites I came to this work with many years ago. And really on this, it's about us being comfortable and rich here in this society. If we're going to be rich in this society, then is this scripture a lie? All right, slow on. Is this scripture a lie?
No.
See, we have to understand about how like the prosperity teaching, like for the Joel Osteen's, Creflo Dollars. I don't even know who else. I don't even keep track of them no more. TD Snakes. Who else?
You got Benny Hinn.
Benny Hinn, Joel Osteen got these mega churches, and rolling in dough. Then you got a lot of our own people who are entertainers rolling in wealth that we've never had as a people before. And we're thinking that that's what it means to achieve. And that God must be with you only if you're living like this. No, brothers, sisters, we have to be studying. We've got to get our minds right. Christ said once again, what?
I know thy works and tribulation and poverty.
What does that mean? That all your bills are not paid? That now, I guess you're here in Houston. You can walk through the Galleria, or what's the one in Sugar Land? What's the mall in Sugar Land?
First Colony.
First Colony, and just throw it in the bag.
They don't do that at First Colony. They do that at Memorial City. Memorial City and Galleria are the two big boys.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't care about Sugar Land.
Oh, baby, Sugar Land, they probably just have everything Amazon Prime now, just deliver straight to the house, I guess.
Yeah.
DoorDash or whatever the damn thing is right now. But people, we're still living that false sense of security. You brought another great point out. Isn't that the same temptation Christ was faced with? If God is with you, you should be able to do this.
Mm-hmm.
If you really are the Son of God, you're an Israelite. Then where's this? Where's that? Why don't I have this? I look at this church, I see what they got. I see the Muslims, see what they got. What do y'all got? Is that not the same temptation Christ was hit with?
Oh, absolutely, man.
But see, if we ain't studying, guess what we won't see? If we ain't studying, we'll think, yeah. Well, if this is the truth and God really is with y'all, why is it like this?
You won't see the way out of the temptation.
You won't even see it as a temptation.
You won't see the way out of the temptation.
Kind.
He said, with every temptation, you make a way out.
True. First of this kind.
Yeah, you won't be able. The studying is supposed to show you the different ways to get out of falling to the, like Yahweh Shai with Satan. Do it now. Cast yourself down now. Turn this bread now.
And I love how you. But I wasn't even thinking about that, but it fits so perfect. All the temptations Christ was faced with, it was about catering to what? His convenience.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
It was about catering to his convenience. Hey, you know you're hungry. And you have the power to change this. Your parents didn't have the power to change it. They didn't have no money. But you got money, so you get the power to change and live comfortable. So make sure you live comfortable. That's what God wants for you in your life. If you're really the Son of God.
Walk after your lusts.
Walk after your lust, the lust of the eyes, the pride of life.
Lust of the flesh.
The lust of the flesh, that's not from the Most High. That is not for the Most High. I'm not saying that we got to go out here and live like paupers, and go live in shanty shacks or go live at tent city. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that the lure, if we're not careful, it will catch you up. And this is why I did tell the class that we're supposed to be as pilgrims. All right, that we're supposed to be as pilgrims. And we're gonna get some of these definitions about what it means to be a pilgrim. But what we have right now.
We are in Revelation 2 verse 9, but we started at 2 Peter chapter 3, and I am at verse 4.
Let's go back to 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 3.
Okay. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 3.
Let's go back there. We're going to let Revelations go. I only want that one precept out of Revelations. That Yahweh Shai, Christ told us what? I know your works, your tribulation, your poverty. And remember, I'm going to start talking fast. I need y'all to slow me down. If things written aforetime written for our learning, then I was supposed to learn and be comforted. It says, things written aforetime written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. So if we're going through the works, the tribulation, and the poverty, if that's supposed to be, how do I say this? If Yahweh Shai said he sees our works, our tribulation, and our poverty, if that's supposed to give us comfort, yes. Especially when them thoughts hitting you by, I gotta go ahead and get mine at any means necessary. So it means not to gather together at any means necessary. I gotta get comfortable. No, I ain't gonna make it to class. No, I can't study because me and my family gotta eat. Me and my family gotta get this together. What about your Israelite family? What about your spiritual family where the whole family gets a chance to go home? We all get a chance to go back to paradise. We all get a chance to go back to, come on. If you've been checking out any of the Sabbath classes going back years, the Torah readings, the riches that we had, the whole nation, I'm still trying to understand, and I know this ain't the time and place, but I'm asking the question. For all the riches we came out with Egypt, but the Most I said there's always going to be poor among you. The poor, who was going to be poor? Was it Israelites? Or was it other Hebrews?
It was probably other Hebrews.
Because the way the Most High took care of all of us.
God.
Oh, what did that mean to be poor at that time? I only had 100 acres.
I only had a couple of jewels to give. Temple. Yep.
What was poverty for us coming out of Egypt, coming into the Promised Land? When we go through the building of the temple during Hanukkah time, and we get the actual temple that was built by Solomon, and how much the last figure I think I got of David's personal contribution from his own personal bank in gold, I think we equivalent to like $13 billion. That's just from his own personal. Then he was matched by the rest of Israel.
Oh.
The wealth we had, we might get into it tonight, might not. It's not going to be important. But when you study, and I'm going to throw it out there, when you study the fall of Jerusalem in 70 AD, it's on Wikipedia. I'm going to let you come in. It's on Wikipedia, but also you go to the Josephus, the Hebrew Israelite historian who wrote about the fall of Jerusalem in 70 AD. My goodness. The riches that they still took out of Jerusalem at that time, it was so much riches. This is where the Romans invented concrete and built the Colosseum. The Colosseum that's still standing today, guess who funded that?
Oh. That's good.
We did. When they finally took down Jerusalem for the scraps, if you want to say it like that, for whatever was still left, it gave the Romans the money to go ahead and invent concrete so they could build the Roman Colosseum.
Wow.
That's how much wealth we still had at that time. And we're talking about, we'd already been through the Assyrian captivity, the Babylonian captivity, the Persian Mede captivity, the Greek captivity, and the Rome. We'd already been through all the captivities. They'd already been plundered, already been plundered. I'm going to leave it like that. And what was still left, the Romans was able to, used that money for the technology to build the Colosseum, the Roman Colosseum. You know they used to have naval battles inside the Roman Colosseum. They get flooded with water, and they can actually have naval battles inside the Colosseum, and then drain it in like 22 minutes is all it would take to drain all that water to let it get down to where they would go ahead and do whatever other events that they was gonna do in that Colosseum.
Wow.
But all that came from when they sacked Jerusalem. That's how much wealth we had. So we're sitting there talking about, again, in the scriptures talks when it says, I know thy works, your tribulation, and poverty. As a nation, we are so poor. I don't care what Oprah got. I don't care what Jay-Z got. I don't care what whoever's got. As a nation, we're poor. We ain't got nothing. We are still on the bottom. We still ain't got nothing compared to what we had as a nation. The scripture tells us, and I say it all the time, when we fell, the world got rich. So we can be watching YouTube and look at how these cats in Dubai are living like, oh man, the world got rich when we fell. We can look at Donald Trump and the Taj Mahal. We can look at these dudes with these yachts and these helicopters and these planes and these elaborate, luxurious lifestyles. The world got rich when we fell. That's scripture. All right, real quick, if I can get that. I know you want to bring something out. Bring out what you was going to bring out, and let me get that Romans. You was going to bring something out?
I was gonna say, man. So you know, you were saying that David gave, what was it, 13 million?
I believe the last count it was 13 billion. Yeah.
13 billion out of his own pocket,
Mm-hmm.
which the whole nation gave money to build the temple, right?
And then he sacked a lot of other nations. When David had stacked up, when he determined he was going to build the temple for the Most High, that's when you go back and read in Kings and Chronicles. That's when he started destroying the other nations. That's when he was on a mission.
Yeah,
So he was taking everything he was getting from them, he was stockpiling just for the temple.
yeah.
Then he made sure all the men, everybody got taken care of, and they had their pockets good. Everybody was good, but he was stockpiling just for the temple.
Wow.
Then when it came to the end, he was like, "Look, he's about to die. Solomon just got anointed. He went to the whole army. He went to everybody. Like, look, this is what I'm dedicating just for my own personal. On top of what's already been stacked up, my own personal, and I believe that the number last time I did this was $13 billion.
Wow.
On top of whatever he had already stacked up.
You know what's crazy about that is
What's that?
So I was looking it up. The most expensive stadium is the MetLife Stadium in New York. That's 1.6 billion,
1.6.
and that's nothing, right? So the most expensive. That's the most expensive stadium. The most expensive building in the world is the Burj Al Bait, which is in Saudi Arabia, right? And that is worth 15 billion. And that's a tall tower that stretches all the way up. And that's 15 billion.
So David, just in his own personal, gave 13 bill.
What about
That's B.
I mean, look at this building compared to what's around it.
Right.
So just you can't even fathom what the temple looked like.
That's wild.
When you read in Josephus, when they talk about the fall of Jerusalem, the Romans, it was Titus and the son of Vespasian. They tell you when they came in, they said there's no way that we took this down. God had to be on our side. They said the way that the architecture, the wisdom of the architecture that we employed in building Jerusalem, and especially Masada, Titus himself was like, there is no way we did this by our own efforts. God had to be with us. There is no way this should have ever came down, ever. Only by the help of God. Only by God bringing this down. So when we sit down again, I'm talking about the poverty. As a nation, we are nowhere near anywhere. You just work on your own personal credit with this system. What about your credit with the Most High? Yes, sir.
Speaking on the temple during 70 AD, right? In the beginning of the year when the Iran thing happened and everything like that, Trump said, "Oh man, we're gonna get these people historical, like religious things, right?" And it's illegal. It's a war crime to do that. to somebody else's.
Oh, when you were saying they were gonna destroy their sacred places.
Yes, that.
Yeah.
It's a war crime amongst these nations to do that to their own temples. Right. So what you're just saying too right now is like the Most High had to be on the side to put it up, and the Most High had to be on the side to just bring all that down. And it wasn't illegal back then either. You know what I mean? That's wild.
But the disgrace that was supposed to hit us up, we're going through this in the Torah readings now. From the tabernacle that Moses put together, that we put together with Moses. The thing that made it majestic and beautiful was Israel came together to build that. That's what made that beautiful. Then again, for me, just the outside fence that went around the Holy of Holies, that was 7.5 stories high. 7.5 stories high. About the size of a football field. That's incredible to me. Of just the fabric that was put together for the fence, the outside fence.
That's the outside fence.
The outside fence. Remember, the menorah was 75 pounds of pure gold. 75 pounds of pure gold. You had the scripture going out?
Yeah, go to Romans 11 and verse 11.
Romans chapter 11, verse 11. I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? God forbid. But rather through their fall, salvation is come unto the Gentiles, for to provoke them to jealousy.
Is there more?
Yeah, keep reading.
Now, if the fall of them
That's it.
be the riches of the world,
It says the fall of us became what?
the riches of the world,
When we fell, the world got rich. When we fell. The nations got rich when we fell. Because all of our wealth was dispersed to the nations. Remember, I'm not going to go there.
that's crazy.
Remember, in 2 Ezra chapter 6, right? It says that the world was made for us. And everything on the world, in the world, was made for us. Why do we now not possess or have possession in the world now? So again, when we fell, the world got rich. But this is my question now. Why did we fall? Why did we fall?
Disobeying. Not
Yeah.
following the commandments.
Come on up. Speak up.
Disobeying and not following the commandments.
Disobeying and not following the commandments. And on top of that, we know that all the commandments point to what two scriptures, what two laws?
Love thy Father with all thy heart, soul, and mind, and love thy neighbor as yourself.
That's what all the commandments was about for Israel. We couldn't hold that up. We couldn't uphold that. So because we didn't uphold that, keep the Most High first and love your neighbor as you love yourself, that's why we fell. Greed. Selfishness. That's why we fell. But we didn't fall forever. And that's why I'm trying to get back to this point, or keep it on the point about being pilgrims. All right, let's go to 2 Ezra chapter 16. And we'll start at verse 40. 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 40.
2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 40.
And this is in the Apocrypha, right? In the Apocrypha, 2 Ezra chapter 16, we'll start at verse 40.
Verse 40. O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle, and those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth.
And again, it tells you that as these evils, as all the prophecies are coming out about the wars and rumors of wars, the plagues, the pestilences, the famines in diverse places. He said that we're supposed to be as what?
Pilgrims
We're
upon the
supposed to be
earth.
as pilgrims upon the earth. And what I want to do is, I want to go to the Webster's 1820 Dictionary for pilgrim. And then, if somebody else can look it up, it's the James Strong and John McClintock's Encyclopedia.
You got that McClintock?
Yes. And you got? Are you familiar?
Yeah, but it's on my phone. Damn. I can get it. Watch. I use that for that McClintock.
You don't have the McClintock?
Dirty.
How do you spell that?
Get down. Okay.
How do you spell that?
That's right. M. little c, big C. MCCLINTOCK. Cyclopedia. CYCLOPEDIA.
That is good online.
Nice. You definitely get it online. You can definitely get it online. Have a look up Pilgrim, and it should look something like this.
It's got a lot of heat in it.
I want you to read it here. Do you have Pilgrim from the Webster's though? So let me set it back up. And from 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 40 it says, "O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle. And in those evils be even as pilgrims." So in being as a pilgrim, it says now we will be as what? It read the Webster's 1828 dictionary.
It says pilgrim from the 1828 Webster's Dictionary. It says a wanderer.
A wanderer, like wonder, W-A-N, like wonder, that you don't settle down. Because again, the mentality that happens with Israelites is we're supposed to go ahead and just settle and just.
Deal with the situation.
Nobody knows when Christ is coming, so we might as well just get settled.
Be a part of the madness.
We might as well go ahead and just, that if we're going to be here, well, we need to be doing this and we need to be doing that. I've heard Israelites talk about we need to go and get with the Chinese and get with the yen, because that's going to become the world money, the world money of the world. What are you talking about? What? We're supposed to be wanderers. We're not supposed to be trying to get dug in and just get comfortable.
You know what the saying is? When in Rome, do as the Romans do. That's the saying. Wherever you at, just assimilate into that program.
No. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Do y'all remember what Christ talked about those that deny him? He's going to deny before the Father.
God.
Remember, he didn't speak those words about being denied until he talked about after all the tribulations were going down. He said after the famines, pestilence, earthquakes, diverse places, the destruction. He said that's only the beginning of sorrows. Then they're going to persecute you. The Black Lives Matter. We have not been persecuted yet as Israelites for being Israelites.
Nope.
Till we're now like Peter. Things were the fourth time for what? How strong was Peter? How ride or die was Peter that when the soldiers first came for him, Peter drew the sword out, was like, let's go. He went from that to what?
Deny.
If you say I'm with him one more time, watch what I do.
Yep.
I dare you to say I'm with him. Remember, when did Christ call Peter Satan?
When he said he'll follow him.
Right, like, no, you ain't gonna suffer.
Yeah.
He said, Christ was like, look, who the men say that I am? Some say John the Baptist. Some say one of the prophets. Some say Elijah. All right, but who do you say I am? You're the Messiah. You're the chosen one. You're the one. You're him.
Damn.
He said, see that y'all don't tell nobody. Because I got to go to Jerusalem. And there, when I get there, I must suffer shame and be put to death by the priest and by the high priest. And that's when Peter was like, what? Oh, hell no. Over my dead body.
He said, get behind me, Satan.
And then that's when Christ looked at the disciples, of the effect that Peter had on the other disciples. Like, hold up, suffer, and we follow you? Huh? Peter acting up? That's when he said, Peter, get behind me, Satan.
You savor us not the things of the Lord.
For real. He said, I can't stand the sight of you right now. Get that behind me. Because you don't savor what's about the Most High. How does Peter go from that, ready to die for Christ? No, I ain't gonna let you suffer. I pull up my sword out, ready to go ahead and get down. How does he go from that to, I denied Christ 3 times?
Right.
What was taking place? That this fisherman, remember, and Peter, I love reading about Peter, right? You know Peter was that guy? Remember after the crucifixion, right? And Christ rose? He said they went fishing. And Christ was on the seashore and they was on the boat. And they'd been fishing all night long, they catch nothing. And then Christ said, you got to throw it on the right side. And they threw the net on the right side. And it tells you there was so many fish they was breaking the nets. That's when all the disciples that went with Peter was like, man, that's Yahushua. So they got out the boat and ran to Yahushua. Who pulled all them fish in by himself? Peter.
Strong dude.
That's what I'm like
Strong dude. Man.
the profile, the character. This dude was that dude.
For him to be the rock
God.
that the church was going to be founded on.
Not Dwayne Johnson, right?
Yeah, not the rock. Yeah, not that. Not the Brahma bull. Right? But and it's funny because I was going over some of the Peter scriptures and the foundation. I was on that last night. But for Yahushua, even after he checked them and he denied Christ, for him to say, "You gonna be the rock,"
Right.
that the church is gonna be founded on. What type of strength did he have to have? But then, like he's going back and saying,
God.
what was going on where he denied Yahushua, even after he told him he was gonna do it? What was going on?
It was fierce. So if those are the type of things that the disciples went through, the believers went through, then what's going to get us to the point where we deny Christ? This is going to be beyond if you wore fringes. This is going to be beyond if you your sister put on a dress. At what point are we going to deny Christ? If we go back, if you think you're in the 4 time for our learning, did the woman have to watch her 7 sons burn up in a frying pan in Maccabees?
No, they could have ate pork.
They could have, matter of fact, and the last one could have just faked like it was pork. What type of trials were they going through to make them to deny the faith? To make them deny eating a piece of bacon. The old man. Look, you can eat, just eat, look, bring deer. Just make it seem like it's pork. He said, then I'll mess up a lot of Israelites if I do that. They'll think in my old age I lost my mind and think it's about me and my comfort and me just saving myself instead of standing for the Most High. I'm only saying these things, again, to strengthen ourselves and understand when it talks about being as pilgrims and as wanderers, these words we're not supposed to take these words lightly. We're not supposed to take the Most High's words lightly. And we got to get out of this church mentality that this is just a church. That I come in, get some feel goods, I tune in, get some feel goods, then I'm out just doing my thing. Things written for time, we're written for our learning.
Yes, sir.
So it says we're supposed to be as pilgrims. Pilgrim is a wanderer. This is not what the Most High has set up for us, as far as us getting comfortable here, us staying here. He already gave us paradise going all the way back to Adam, where we had immortality. Because he says righteousness is immortal. So what did the Most High create us to be? When he said, let us make man in our image, is the Most High immortal? So what did he make us in the very beginning? Immortal. When we go back and go over Genesis, the 3rd chapter, the 3rd chapter, 2nd chapter. Let's start from the 1st chapter. When you go back and read about that, it tells you that once Adam and Eve sinned, it tells you that chair was put to where they no longer had access to the 3rd and 4th dimension. That means at one time, we could do space travel. At one time, we were gods on this earth. Literally. This way we live now, this is not Genesis 1:26. LeBron James playing basketball is not Genesis 1:26. Mike Tyson knocking people out is not Genesis chapter 1 verse 26. There are some people that believe that, and it really can't be proven, but there's a belief out there that all the talk about the ancient city of Atlantis, and all that great technology and all that wound up disappearing, whatever, that was really the city of Adam. That was how we were living. We were gods on the earth. Now, I'd like to just play with that for a little bit, if I can take a little time. If Adam had to name everything, how many sea creatures are there at the bottom of the sea?
Oh. Undiscovered.
Yeah.
But he named them. How?
Discovered.
How? can read about Aquaman, make movies about Aquaman, Submariner, the city of Atlantis being under the water. What was going on during the time of Adam when we were the sons of God, the sons and daughters of God on earth? We all are shocked and amazed at Wakanda. I'm glad they made that movie. Not that it was a bunch of Africans, but what technology did we have being the sons and daughters of God in the very beginning? Where we had immortality. That's why I said with immortality that why would it be unthinkable that Adam could have had a city or something under the water that he had to name all those sea creatures? He had to give a name to everything. Now I can't go prove it dot for dot in the Bible, so don't hold me to that. But just in the thought of Genesis 1:26, let us make man in our image. What's the image of the Most High at that time? What kind of power and technology? We read in the scriptures about UFOs, so-called UFOs. So what do we have then? What do we have access to then? We read about Christ transfigured his body. He went from his third dimension body, terrestrial body, to they saw him in his celestial body. That was the transfiguration. So what did Adam have? What did we have in the beginning? So where we had dominion over dinosaurs. Have you ever seen how big a sperm whale is? That's the biggest mammal on the planet right now, is a sperm whale. A Tyrannosaurus Rex, a pterodactyl, and we had dominion over them. We ain't got that now. Let a mouse come in right now.
All the mighty men will turn weak.
Including myself. They ain't call me mighty. I'm on top of the table.
Get a mice. What about a roach?
Then a roach.
The flying ones? The flying roach ain't no joke.
Will catch a natural conniption fit.
Yeah, now you got arachnophobia. You're scared of spiders. You're scared of this. You got all these different phobias. You couldn't have that in Adam's time.
No.
Having dominion? No.
That is what the Most High gives to people he loves. So we're sitting there thinking about just because I get some real estate here in America, not really? Because you got 10 acres, you got 50 acres, you're doing something? Hell no. No. We're supposed to be as wanderers, meaning this is temporary. This is not it. This is what the Most High gives the people he hates the most. The people he says he hates by name. For Esau have I hated. He said, that's given. This is what the Most High gives the people he hates. Whatever Bill Gates got, whatever the Rothschilds got, whatever the Bilderbergers got, whatever Donald Trump got, that's what the Most High gives the people he hates. And we're thinking that's it, that's living. To get I guess the iPhone watch, I ain't real watch, that's why I don't know. What's the great technology right now? I've seen some Maybachs, the new Maybachs, new Beamers, whatever, drive themselves. Tesla. Really?
They got the 18-wheeler too.
What?
If this ain't Terminator type stuff, I don't know what it is. But we're thinking that is the epitome of living. That's what the Most High gives people he hates. What's he ready to give us that we're supposed to be reminded that we're supposed to be as what? Wanderers. This is temporary. And we set in our hearts like, no, this is the end all, the beat all. We got Israelites that, man, I just want to be comfortable. I just want to be able to pay my bills, be able to walk through the mall. If I see something nice, just be able to buy it. That's why the Most High asks, are we homeborn slaves? That's got you spoiled. For what the Most High gave us, that has us spoiled. We don't want nothing else. I just want to be able to pay my bills. Really? We had dominion over everything.
Come.
But you're satisfied just being able to pay your bills. You feel, you know how you get that warm fuzzy feeling when you pay the bill?
I don't.
No, I don't either.
I don't.
I get pissed.
Yeah, I'm pissed on it. The next one is right on the way. It's a restart of a bill cycle.
But let the rent just get paid. Ever go to Costco or Sam's Club and you look in the fridge?
That's a little different. It's a little different feeling.
When the refrigerator smiles at you, that's what it's for.
We killed 2-year-old lambs every day.
Yeah.
Just from the excess. That was like paying the most high interest from everything we had.
It's nuts.
If you wanted meat, you killed it fresh that day. Well, you did. Your servants did. Have you ever read? I know y'all have. Have you read what Solomon had at his table?
Oh yeah. His daily
Daily provisions.
It was wild. Con.
That was like Golden Corral on steroids.
Yeah, his daily could feed an army.
Daily. Today you're a vegetarian, no problem, we got you. Oh, you're on the keto diet where you're just doing foul, we got you. You didn't get your omega-3s up. All you would do is fish, we got you. This was daily.
Yeah, Sheba couldn't even believe it.
When Sheba looked and saw the door guard and thought the door guard was the king, how were we living? That's what I thought. Tasha Pai, he's doing blog talks on Tuesday, this past couple Tuesdays, and he says, "Can you be a janitor?" And I thought he was gonna hit that up. That when Sheba saw the doorman, she thought the doorman was the king.
Yeah.
That's what the Most High gives somebody he loves. This is not what the Most High gives somebody he hates. This is not love. As much as we keep looking at, and I'm jealous for this, and I want this, I'm envious of this ain't love. We're supposed to be as wanderers. What else we got?
A traveler.
A traveler. Nope, nope, I ain't staying long. I'm not staying long. Rion?
Particularly, one that travels to a distance from his own country
Hold up. We're supposed to be as pilgrims, or one that what?
travels from his own country to visit a holy place.
Well, I'll say, one that travels to a distance from his own country. I just want to stop right there. We're supposed to be those who have traveled a distance from our own country. So what's that mean? This ain't our country.
Come.
We have a country. It's called Israel. We have real estate, where we all own real estate. Y'all know the Arab sheiks? You know the word sheik in Arabic is prince? They're making so much money from all that oil that they have a trust fund that once this was back in 30 years ago, they had a trust fund that once an Arab turns 21, the country gives him like $1 million. This is way back then. That's why they're called sheiks. You'll never see an Arab, a true Arab. I don't know what's over here. Working, real Arabs, they ain't working. They're sheiks. They're princes. They have people working for them, enjoying the wealth of their country, enjoying the wealth of their economy.
Yeah.
Where do you think they got that from?
Come.
They got that from us. To where you have so much money set aside, you get married, cool, it's all good. Go. Keep it on the family. Don't marry outside the nation. We're going to keep this circulating with us. When you read Deuteronomy the 20th chapter, 1 through 14, Don't you remember all the blessings Most High was giving us? That we would lend to nations and we didn't have to borrow from any other nation. You know what that means? We would never have to borrow. They would only borrow from us. We can't even go to a store and get credit.
Yeah. You can't get a credit card.
As individuals. But when we came together, under the righteousness of the Most High, we loaned. When you lend to other countries, what kind of wealth are you dealing with when you lend to a whole country? That's what we had. So we're supposed to be as pilgrims, or as what? Those that travel a distance from our own country. This ain't our country. This is not what we're supposed to be at. I'm gonna need the other scripture. I didn't put it in here, but I'm gonna need it real quick. Arise and depart is not your rest. Micah 2:7.
2:7.
Is it 2:7, 2:10, 3:10?
It's Micah, though.
Yeah, it's definitely Micah. 5:7. And again, I'm not saying that if the door opens up for you to take care of yourself, cool. But don't get this twisted. I'm not saying that we got to come out here and again live in 10 cities. That is not the purpose of this class. We're supposed to be as pilgrims, as we're reading what the scripture says. Do we have that one in Micah?
Yes, sir.
Micah chapter 2, verse 10.
Go ahead.
Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest.
It says this place that we're in right now is not our rest. When we go into the definition of rest, when you look it up, one of the things is you stop warring. There's no more war. So guess what's going to happen while we're still here? Why it gotta be so hard? Why it gotta be this tribulation? Why do things keep happening? Because this is not our rest. This is not where we're supposed to get comfortable at. Who would want their child to get comfortable in a doghouse? No loving parent would want their child to get comfortable in a doghouse. Not when the parent owns a mansion. No. What are you doing there? I haven't worked this hard, put this together for you to get comfortable there. Arise, depart. This is not your rest. Read.
Because it is polluted.
What is this place? It's polluted. And how much more polluted is it getting? And remember, the pollution's been here. This society has been a homosexual society. This society has been a transgender society. This society has been adverse. It's been perverse. Remember in Isaiah 47, the Most High said what? He says, thy nakedness is going to be seen. That now all the filth and the dirt and the truth about what goes down behind closed doors, it's coming out now. All the same-sex marriages, the bestiality, just all the abominations. It's not like it's just now coming out or it's just happening. Here in America, it's been here. It's just not coming out because the ones I prophesied that. Your nakedness is going to be seen to the world. So now even Europeans look to America and be like, oh man, y'all doing that? Now it's being seen, but it's been here. This place has been polluted. If you got anything, come with it. This place has been polluted.
Yes, sir.
No, I was just looking back at Solomon's daily provisions. Just there's a daily. It said that he slaughtered 10 ox, 20 oxen out of the.
If an ox is about a ton,
yeah,
that's huge. That's huge.
Listen, and Solomon's provisions for one day was 30 measures of fine flour, 30 measures of meal, 10 fat oxen, and 20 oxen out of the pasture. So he had 30 oxen killed,
Hold on. He said some of them were fat though.
Some of them were fat. Yeah, they were fat. Some fat, 10 fat ones. Right? 20 oxen out of the pasture, 100 sheep.
100. What's the most sheep that killed for Passover?
9? If that. Maybe.
And that was for Passover.
That was for the Passover.
This is what he did daily.
Yeah. Besides hearts and roebucks and fallow deer,
So
fatted fowl.
all types of different types of deer, venison.
Yeah. His table was filthy. God. That was daily.
Quail, chicken, pheasant.
Oh yeah. All the lawful fowls. Pheasants. little Cornish hens.
Oh, that's my favorite right there.
Right?
God.
I used to back in my I used to call them mini chickens. I didn't know what buffalo wings. I didn't know. I tell my mom, "Hey, can you make some of the mini chickens?"
Right. God. But that was daily.
Dude, for 40
This-
years?
Yes.
Daily for 40.
So 360 times 40 is what?
369 and 12. It's about 1,400. It's about 1,400. 14,000. What you got? 14,400. Yeah.
A year.
A day. No. That's how many days it was. Not including whatever for the feast days or the Sabbath or the when he was trying to floss.
Yeah. A party, a wedding,
Right. This was just daily.
a new moon feast.
Con. And we think we're doing something here?
You just put a good one in my head.
Come on, we're going to Red Lobster.
And even
I will treat you today, baby. You get all the biscuits you want, babe. Love you.
you get all the we go to Olive Garden super salad.
The
Unlimited.
super's unlimited.
Or you go to
Boom Corral or
one of these places.
Hometown Buffet. Yeah.
You get the bucket of what's the things that they eat out here?
Chicken wing.
No. The unlawful crabs, crawdads, crawfish. Yeah. So you get unlimited crawfish, babe. So we went from eating thousands and thousands of lawful food a year,
A day.
a day, to damn eating unlimited, unlawful bottom feeders. That's what we reduced to. Oh man, I didn't want to read that. I shouldn't even have read that. That pissed me off.
So when he says that this place is polluted, this place is dirty, it's filthy,
It is, man.
then why are we trying to get comfortable here? Why do we think that this is the best that God has to offer? That don't make no sense if we read these scriptures. So he said we're supposed to be his pilgrims, one that travels a distance from his own country.
Can I read this one real quick?
Yeah, what you got?
It's I'll just read it real quick. It's Deuteronomy chapter 12 and 9. Deuteronomy chapter 12 verse 9. For ye are not as yet come to the rest and to the inheritance which the Lord your power giveth you.
No, we haven't come to that rest. Matter of fact, in Hebrews, Paul breaks it down very clear
Oh yeah.
that Adam, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they didn't look for that place where the Most High goes to rest. They go and look for that place. That they wandered the desert, wandered the wilderness all that time, looking for that city that the Most High is going to bring down, looking for the kingdom. That's what they looked for and didn't see it. That's what's ready for that we're about to walk into now. But this place is polluted. You want to read the McClintock?
Yeah, I got you. It says, this is from the McClintock and Strong Biblical Encyclopedia under Pilgrim. Pilgrim is used in the AV only and in the old sense of sojourner. Then it has Hebrews 11:13, 1 Peter 2:11. It says stranger.
We're supposed to be strange. This is supposed to be strange to us. The way this society is, for us, this is supposed to be strange. Not us getting comfortable. Not us assimilating and becoming a part of this. All this is supposed to be strange to us.
What was those scriptures you just said right now, Prisco?
It was Hebrews 11:13, First Peter 2:11, and First Peter 1:1. What else you got, bro?
Similarly, in the Old Testament, pilgrimage occurs as a rendering of miguar, which signifies a stay or an abode in a foreign country.
Well, hold up. So as a pilgrim, we're supposed to understand that this is what?
Foreign country.
That this is a foreign country we in.
Oh.
This is a foreign country. We're not supposed to get comfortable here. Eating clams on half shell, eating crawfish.
The damn American diet, man. You eating hot dogs and bologna. My bologna has a first name, and all that filthy food that they eat, all that processed food, all that. They gotta see like all the like they do like the gluten-free diet.
God.
Why do they gotta do that? Because that stuff destroys our system. All the foods we take on, the homosexuality, you should be a stranger to that. You should be like, whoa, what is that? Oh, no, I'm good with that.
Having pride in yourself.
Yep.
That started in school. Have school pride.
Yep.
Have school pride. How do you supposed to have school pride in a country that claims to be God-fearing? What's one of the 16 God hates?
Right.
Pride. But it's okay to have school pride? It's going to have to be proud of yourself? That's supposed to be what to us? That's supposed to be foreign.
Yep.
That's not supposed to be a part of our makeup.
Well, now they got Pride Month.
Right. Then there's Gay Pride Month. We're not supposed. That's supposed to be foreign to us. Like, what is that? Just like when we watch some of these Chinese movies. Give me a second. These Chinese shows, we see them eat a rat. We're like, ugh, how can they do that? Or they eat a grub, or one of them beetles. We look like, man, are you sick? That's foreign. This whole American lifestyle is supposed to be what to us? Foreign.
Yes, sir.
If the scripture says a silent and loving woman is a gift of the Most High, to be someone known for being loud and boisterous, what's that supposed to be for an Israelite woman? Foreign. For an Israelite man to want that INDEP, I know I'm old, ENT, that's supposed to be foreign. To be dysfunctional. You ever meet people, Israelites, I'm just like this, they just love drama. They have no idea what it means to have the inside voice and the outside voice. It's all just one voice. Just loud, yelling and cussing for no damn reason. That's supposed to be foreign to us. That's American. That's country hillbilly hick from the Appalachian Mountains. That's country. That's a bunch of criminals and convicts that were released from England and let loose here in America, became Americans, the founding fathers.
Yep.
That's them. This ain't for a woman to girl, if you got it, flaunt it. That's supposed to be foreign to us. That's why they make sure they stripped our women when they came on the slave ships. Why did they make sure they stripped our women from the Aztecs and Incas or what have you? Why did they make sure they stripped them? This way we dress and live today, it was the hot girl summer.
That's making us out.
That's supposed to be foreign to us. That's not, we're supposed to look like what are you doing? Tattoos? Going on Friday nights? Everything about the Willie Lynch is supposed to be what?
Foreign.
That's foreign to us. To raise the man to be physically strong but mentally weak, but have the woman grow up in an independent mindset, that's supposed to be foreign to us.
Right.
That's not how the Most High set things up. Yeah, more, I'm sorry.
It says, metaphorically, it is applied to the sojourning on earth.
Even our whole thing on earth is supposed to be what? A pilgrimage. We're the sons of God. The Most High's house has many mansions. What does he have outside this earth that we're supposed to have access to? as his sons and his daughters. And when Christ told the disciples, all these works I do, you should do also and greater. How are we supposed to really be living? All this here is supposed to be foreign. The fatigue, the tired, the ADD, the ADHD, the diabetes, the high blood pressure, the epilepsy, the dyslexia, the stuttering, the
Gout, hypertension, AIDS,
dandruff. Dandruff is supposed to be foreign to us.
coronavirus.
The itch is supposed to be foreign to us.
The MRODs.
The hemorrhoid, that's supposed to be foreign to us.
The burning, the rent, the stomacher,
That's supposed to be foreign to us.
the baldness.
Cavities. Pulled teeth. That's supposed to be dentures. It's about now, if you're not gonna get the denture, you're gonna get an implant. It's about they're gonna take the bone, either a human bone that they bathe in acid, or a bovine, which could be a cow bone. And if you need to get a dental implant, they surgically now put the bone from this other cadaver, whatever it is, put that in your mouth, let that get sealed in, then they drill the screw, and then they put the new tooth, whatever it's gonna be, up on that bone. I won't say it because I got a mission too, so I just went to the periodontist yesterday.
Yeah.
All this is supposed to be foreign to us. Just sitting up playing video games all day, guess what that's supposed to be? Foreign. Spending your life trying to become a basketball player, a football player. Guess what that's supposed to be? Because that's the only ticket out of the hood, or your only ticket out of poverty. That is supposed to be foreign to us. We're not supposed to be used to this. We're supposed to be as pilgrims, knowing we're about to go home. And I'm not going to get to it tonight, maybe next Wednesday. When we go into these prophecies, I'm not talking about just prophesying about, man, I knew it was going to be a car accident. When I woke up this morning, man, I just knew, man, it was going to be a car accident. Guess what happened? I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the prophecy of the Most High, about the 4 kingdoms, about the kingdoms from the Babylonians, the Assyrians, the Babylonians, Persian, Medes, Greeks, and the Latin of the Romans. Talk about those prophecies being fulfilled. Talk about us coming and being kicked out of our land and having to come and face all the Deuteronomy 28, the curses. That those prophecies have been fulfilled. We're at the end of this. When Christ said, when the scripture says, Esau is the end of the world, but Jacob's the beginning of him that followeth, who's in control of the earth right now?
Esau.
It's Esau. They're in control of the earth right now. They're the last ones. There is no more after that. Well, there is. Let's see that. We got next. We got next.
Oh, nice.
That's what's after this. Where it says our kingdom is going to last forever and ever, even forever.
Even for.
It's not ever going to come back down again. Ever. That's what's next. It's not going to be the Chinese, ain't going to be the Arabs, ain't going to be the Africans. It's us. Esau's the end. So we got to realize we are pilgrims here. All this is temporary. All of it. We have anything else?
Yeah, it says, metaphorically, it is applied to the sojourning on the earth. Thus, the patriarch Jacob says to Pharaoh, the days of the years of my pilgrimage are 130 years. Genesis 47:9.
All right, cool. Let me give one other definition. And this from the Mechanical Translation Dictionary. This from the Mechanical Translation Dictionary. And again, I got all these dictionaries from East Ward. If y'all ain't got it, you don't have to get it, but this is where I'm getting a lot of these definitions from. The Mechanical Translation Dictionary for pilgrimage.
It says, a journey of a pilgrim, the course of life on earth, one who travels in a strange land.
One that travels in a strange land. So what is America? I don't care if it's North, Central, or South America. What is all this supposed to be for us? A strange land. This is all supposed to be strange to us. Not sweet home Alabama.
Georgia.
Georgia. Right? Ray Charles or Luda. This is supposed to be, as I hear my Benjamin brethren up here, I'm sharing the mic with, it's not yard. Right. Yard is not home. Home is not green and yellow.
Damn.
That is not home. All this is strange.
God.
All of this is supposed to be strange to us. We're supposed to be as pilgrims. We're supposed to be as pilgrims. But if we're not careful, we're going to try and get comfortable here. Let's go back to 2 Ezra chapter 16 verse 40.
2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 40.
Go ahead.
O my people, hear my word.
And again, what's being said, the Lord is speaking specifically to somebody, his people. His people are the Israelites, us. And what are we supposed to do? Hear his word. As you're up late night, and we all got the insomnia, and there's another get rich quick scheme, it's another real estate seminar, it's another
YouTube, they got the YouTube ones now.
Oh, I
Like
think-
get rich on YouTube.
right.
Yeah, how to set up your Amazon.
Yeah, Facebook is like, you been seeing those Facebook, you post something and somebody come and reply, be like, you know what, I like you, you're good today. Visit me here and come get this gift.
Yep.
What? I just hit that up today also, that's why I know about that too.
Yeah.
But it says, all my people do what?
Hear my word.
Are we hearing the words of the Most High?
Yes, sir.
You know, I'm gonna pose this question to y'all like I posed it to myself many years ago. If you don't study, how do you know the voice in your head is the Most High's voice?
No.
If you don't study, how do you know that voice in your head is the Most High's voice? If you don't study, how do you know if that dream that you had was from the Most High?
No.
But how many people think they hear the voice of the Most High?
A lot of people.
How many people think they had a dream from the Most High? You can't even spell Bible, but it's from the Most High.
Book of the law.
You can't even name the books of the Bible, but you just know God's talking to you. You just know it. How? Didn't the scripture say study to show yourself approved to the Most High?
Yes, sir.
So if you're supposed to study to show yourself approved to the Most High, how do you know the thoughts in your head? When the Most High said in Proverbs 3 and 5, not to lean to your own understanding. How do you know when you're leaning to your own understanding? If you ain't studying. How do you know you're not still following the influences of your mom, dad, society? If you ain't studying. Let's read again.
O my people.
One thing I like, I always hear people react, so as far as the book and verse, because a lot of people get, what happens is a lot of people get to thinking, and we forget what book and verse we in. So I always like to repeat the book and verse that we in, so everybody gets a chance to get back, because a lot of times, you know, just we get the jogatizing minds and stuff, and thoughts and stuff, to help get back on track. So where we at?
2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 40.
Yes, sir.
O my people, hear my word.
Are we hearing the words of the Most High? Or are you still thinking about the promise you made to your grandmother and her words? The promise you made to your best friend before he died. Are you hearing those words, or are you hearing the words of the Most High? What words are you hearing? Read.
Make you ready to the battle.
Get ready for the battle. Read.
And in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth.
And be as a pilgrim on the earth. Understand, this is temporary. This is temporary. Read.
He that saith, let him be as he that fleeth away.
That you ain't sitting there trying to make sure you get a profit. That's all about your come up. That you get so caught up into that that you forget this is just a tool. Again, we have businesses, but we're saying these businesses are just a what? A tool to help get for us to get this word out, to help as many Israelites as we can, so we can all go home. And it's that one man's personal wealth just gets augmented. Read.
And he that buyeth as one that will lose.
And he that buyeth is one that will lose. Read.
He that occupieth merchandise as he that hath no profit by it. And he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein.
All right, from there, let's go to this person, if you got anything.
Like all you got brothers and sisters that's they into their little sports. Like you said, it ain't about trying to be a basketball player. They just suspended the NBA for the corona.
Yeah.
They just suspended it. They just found a player that got tested positive.
You talking about that center?
Some dude from the Jazz. That's all I know.
You know what's funny? I was reading that article. As he said that he came to the little reporting thing, and to make a point that Corona ain't nothing, he touched like all the mics.
And now he's sick. But the point is, the things that we put our trust in as you try to bury roots into this society.
That's wild.
The Most High is wiping these things out with a cough. He's wiping the things that look at how many people put their trust in the NBA. They're rooted in that system. LeBron James is rooted. He spends billions on his body for the NBA. Now, what's going to happen when, and he said it, if they got to play with no crowd, he ain't playing. That's what he said. Nigga, you tripping. You going to go play with a crowd or not because you got to get your dough. But that's what the things that we root ourselves in, they could be easily wiped out. That's why the Most High says, store your treasures up in heaven, where moth and rust can't corrupt.
And you got
Or coronavirus can't get all up on.
you also got all these people that all this money they done spent into this rodeo that they just canceled.
Oh,
Now
they
they
just-
all blue on TV. All
They just
day.
cancel the rodeo. You know how many people live on that? That's gonna kill a lot of high-minded people, but that's also gonna hurt the little guy.
Yeah.
But
The vendors.
the vendors, yeah, I can only imagine. You got people that go there that their livelihood is depending on this one rodeo. They make 30, 40, 50 grand in a
10 days.
month.
Yeah.
So it's gonna hurt some of the low-level people, but when you put your trust in that, when you don't use wisdom, and the Most High descends the coronavirus through and wipes it out, what you gonna do? I'll let you get back.
And with you said another key thing, store your treasures in heaven. Now Matthew 11:11, Christ told you, where's the heaven at? Where's the kingdom at?
Oh yeah, clown.
It's within Israel. Are you storing treasures with your people? Are you storing treasures with who the Most High wants his treasure spread with? So that now you're not putting money into a pocket with holes in it.
Nope.
Everybody's always talking about the key to economic wealth is unity. So where are we unifying as Israelites together as Israelites? And that the Most High is going to support Israelites for helping other Israelites. Like Acts the 4th chapter tells, and I'm going to keep repeating some of these chapters. Every time you see me on camera or in class or blog talk, I repeat a lot of the same things. In these last days, our safety is in our coming together. That's where our safety is at. The nation of Israel coming together in every city. Because we know if it's going to be a medical martial law, a medical quarantine, the scripture, Moses already prophesied that a man is going to desire to go to a city and is not going to be able to. Facts. That's already written. So martial law is coming, and however it's going to come. If it's the real ID card, if it's, again, through this medical quarantines, if it's through straight up, if they explode an EMP somewhere in the Southwest and act like it's a nuclear bomb, like they did the World Trade Centers, to go ahead and put everybody on a terrorist freeze. It's coming. It's coming. So are we gathering together in our cities? Are we gathering together for our safety?
Because it's losing it.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
It is on Facebook losing it. Like, man, my life is over. He said, it's over. This is Let's go and do it. It is. Cass is getting sad, man. The season is canceled. They having a fit on Twitter. I be on social media a lot.
Wow, they did cancel the NBA season.
They suspended it. They suspended it after this game.
Get him most I am.
It's suspended. Shutting them down, man. Shutting them down.
That was fun.
They said Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson test positive.
The actor?
Yeah.
Tom Hanks? Damn.
Mm.
I just need, like I said, I just need somebody to cough on Trump. I'm straight. I need somebody to cough on Trump, and we'll be good.
He was in contact with somebody that was in contact.
He's scared. He probably ain't gonna get no
Two
test.
congressmen were riding in the car with him, and they had been exposed to somebody else.
Nice.
If this ain't the plagues of Egypt, hopefully it is.
Dang, plagues on plagues.
Come.
Shutting down their modern day NBA slavery. I hope the NFL is next.
All professional sports.
Yeah.
Let's go to 1 Corinthians 7:29.
First Corinthians chapter 7, verse 29. But this I say, brethren, the time is short.
What's being said to us?
The time is short.
The time is short. And again, when we look at the book of Daniel, when we look at the book of Revelations, when we look at Isaiah, we look at Ezekiel, we look at Jeremiah, Esau is in control. His rulership is here. The only thing left now is for the Messiah to come back and take us home. That's what we're waiting on right now. We've gone through Revelations where it talks about the I need to go back and get that. Where it talks about the it describes the biplanes where the scorpion had like a scorpion tail and fire came out of there and they had like Revelation chapter 9. That was World War II. And we'll go through all that and show how John the Revelator was describing World War II.
Like
Remember it says
look like a locust.
a locust, exactly. That's in biplanes. That's those biplanes that they were flying. And then it says that, remember it says, 2 woes are past, and another woe, the third woe is coming quickly. World War I, World War II, and now we'll wait for World War III, or what it says Armageddon or whatever. We're here. We're here.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it ain't no another 1,000 years.
Oh, yeah. Whoever's saying that 1,000, the devil's gonna come back. Y'all are tripping.
You're illiterate.
God, listen. We got 1,000 more years of this captivity?
Ain't gonna happen. Or the devil's got to come back after this?
Yeah. And then
How's the devil gonna come back after this? But Christ said if he don't come, there ain't gonna be no flesh to save.
Yep.
Oh, snap.
Because they don't understand what it is. You got to put it together with Daniel's, where he talks about the kingdom of clay.
Mm-hmm.
He talks about those, and we know what kingdom we in. So, if you go to Daniel's prophecy, you go with what it says in Revelations. If that's the case, then we have a whole nother captivity in a whole nother place. That means Deuteronomy 28 didn't happen yet, and we haven't been taken by ships.
Exactly.
Somewhere else.
I guess
Carol.
Mars. I guess
God.
they say Mars needs women. I guess.
Right.
Talk about to that spoiled mushroom they showing that picture of.
Right.
Yeah, that one, like you just poke a hole in it. And I said, man, that's a spoiled mushroom. We used to see them all the time in the cow patty.
Right. That no rock up there. Let's finish it. I know that we'll come up on the time. Let's finish this here.
It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none.
For the time we're living in, he said, those that have wives be as though they had none. Does that mean that husbands are not supposed to love their wives? Not in the least bit. That is not what it's talking about. But it's real quick. I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna get out. We have to go to Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 5.
Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 5.
What was the law of marriage? Let's read.
When a man hath taken a new wife, he shall not go out to war, neither shall he be charged with any business, but he shall be free at home 1 year, and shall cheer up his wife, which he hath taken.
Is that the law?
That's what it says.
Yeah, that's the Torah. That's Deuteronomy 24 and 5. that when we were in the promised land, the land of milk and honey, guess what newlyweds were allowed to have?
A year.
Not just a 2-week honeymoon, a year.
Man.
That's what we had
When we was in the promised land.
when we were in the promised land. Not this foreign land. Not this strange land. Not this polluted land. So let's go back to 1 Corinthians 7:29.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 29. But this I say, brethren, the time is short.
The time is short. We're about to get up out of here. Read.
It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none.
To be able to take a whole year off, and that means the teaching stops. That means anything we're working on together stops. Just so you can go be with your wife.
Nah.
Now that was the law, and that was part of that neighbor, that brotherly love. Bro, you just got married, man. We got this. Go ahead, take a year. Go enjoy. Y'all do that. But that's when what? How many wars had already been conquered and fought for us to get to the promised land? How many mansions and wealth was already distributed to all Israel to where now you not being here, it's not going to hurt. But for what we got going on now,
It's a work.
we need brothers and sisters helping with this work. There ain't time. As we try to keep up the love American style, ain't going to happen. All right, let's go back to 1 Corinthians.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 30.
Yes, sir.
And they that weep, as though they wept not.
For those, and I know that there was a complaining class that was recently gone over. This ain't time to be weeping and complaining about what we don't have this, don't have that. Why you always dedicating your time over here? Why you always dedicating your time over there? What about us? What about this? Those that weep, as though they wept not. This ain't the time for the complaining.
Ooh.
We got work to do. There's a nation of people that needs to be saved. And that's contingent on 104,000 men getting sealed. If that's not getting done, we're not leaving. The suffering continues. How many, on social media, how many women do you see on social media are missing? How many kids do you see missing? How many more we gotta keep running up missing before we decide, you know what, something needs to be done? When we're going to realize that we have a nation of people dying, a nation of people hurting. One thing, trying to help bring myself back to reality, how many people, how many teenagers are trying crack for the first time right now because of whatever their home situation is like? How many of them are taking bars right now because of their home situation? How many young girls are in a compromised position right now? Right now for the first time. Because they have no answers. How many people are committing suicide right now? Because they don't know the truth about these scriptures, the truth about who the Most High is. While we're sitting complaining that we're being inconvenienced a little bit. We're in Texas. If we go down to the border, how many families, how many Israel families are the kids are in one detention center and the parents are somewhere else? Right now. How many people are trying to come from Cuba on a door right now? Or from Haiti? Right now. Shark-infested waters with their kids, with their loved ones, trying to get here to what they think is a safer place. We really don't comprehend love your neighbor as you love yourself. Unless, I'm sure there's probably going to be a lot of comments about, well, what about the white man? What about your own people? Let's finish reading.
And they that rejoice, as though they rejoice not.
Go ahead.
And they that buy, as though they possess not. And they that use this world, as not abusing it. For the fashion of this world passeth away.
Because the fashion of this world is about to do what?
Passeth away.
It's about to be done. This world is about to be done. So we got to understand what time we're living in. Last one for tonight, Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 1 through 8. Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 1 through 8.
And we're gonna finish it up. I know he got a plethora more of information. So no, we definitely got to do a part 2 next week. Mashaba's gonna be every Wednesday.
That's
So-
20 and 8.
Yeah, Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 1 through 8.
So he'll definitely get a chance to finish it up. So it's all good.
Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 1. When thou goest out to battle against thy enemies, and seest horses and chariots, and a people more than thou, be not afraid of them. For the Lord thy God is with thee, which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And it shall be, when ye are come nigh unto the battle, that the priest shall approach and speak unto the people, and shall say unto them, Hear, O Israel, ye approach this day unto battle against your enemies. Let not your hearts faint. Fear not.
So, what was just told to us in 2 Ezra chapter 16? I'll read it real quick. In 2 Ezra 16 verse 40 it says, O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle. And be as and in those evils, be even as pilgrims on the earth. So as we're facing these battles and these things that we're being faced with, from coronavirus to the allergies, common flu, let's take it that simple. We're not supposed to be afraid of these things.
God.
We're not supposed to fear these things. We're not supposed to get coward in these things. We're supposed to understand what the Most High is doing. Reading on from Deuteronomy, please.
Let not your hearts faint.
Let not your hearts faint. I don't know how many Israelites I'm seeing are so scared about this coronavirus. And I'm saying like this. I need some help real quick. Apocrypha. Do no evil.
No evil shall come unto you.
Yeah. It said, do no evil, no harm shall come to you.
No harm shall come to you, right? I'll got you.
Let me get this scripture. I know I said the last scripture, but I'm. You know when you try to paint a picture for people, you want to try to get them all the details of this picture possible.
Ecclesiastes 7:1.
That's it, God. In the Apocrypha, Ecclesiasticus chapter 7 and verse 1.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 7, verse 1.
Read.
Do no evil.
Do what?
Do no evil.
Do no evil. Go ahead.
So shall no harm come unto thee.
So shall no harm come unto you. This is a commandment. Now, if you don't know what evil is, maybe you should study. Keep tuning in.
Ooh.
What does the Most High determine to be evil? You know the Most High determines to be evil? Evil is when we don't keep the laws of the Most High. Can everybody attest to that?
God.
So, is a law of the Most High gathered together every 7 days
God.
for the Sabbath?
God.
So if we don't keep that law, what are we doing?
Being evil.
Being evil. So maybe there should be some fear.
Reverence.
It be the small things, the simple things. The devil's in the details. The Most High, Christ said, "My burden is light. This ain't hard." We all just gather together.
That's it.
We all gather together and esteem each other better than yourselves. Get that done. I got everything. I got you covered. I'm gonna make this easy. I don't need no more sacrifices. I don't need no more bullocks, no more sheep, no more turtle doves. Don't bring the bread offering, the meat offering, the drink offering. No, not even necessary.
Just go.
Y'all just come together. Y'all come together and watch me work. Y'all come together and watch me work. Because that's all I want y'all to do in the first place. Yeah.
As you're saying that, I'm like flashbacking in all the places that I've congregated with many people, in the sense like I'm in a barbershop, a whole bunch of people. I'm in the hood, a whole bunch of people. I'm at barbecues, a whole bunch of people. I'm you know what I'm saying? All this hood and stuff, and so on and so forth. But nothing righteous, nothing positive ever came out. The presence of the Most High was absent. And now what I'm reflecting on right now is for myself right now is just a few months that I've been here. My mind blows up every day, just like wow, just coming together, just showing up, checking in. Wow, the order.
Now, what you're saying that, it's funny how for the barbecues, the party, whatever it might be going on, there had to be some type of mind-altering something going on. It could have been drink. It could have drink,
Yeah.
whatever it was. It had to be something to take your mind off your problems. We all got together, but there got to be something to still take the mind away. There got to be something to help the time go by. We in here, we barely even drink some water, and 2 hours already passed like that. Ain't had one drink and had one puff of nothing.
God.
That ain't the Most High?
God. That's loud.
That's the Most High.
Yeah, that's loud.
Went at that one fraternity party. Went at one sorority, whatever. Went at wearing some crazy hats in the He-Man Woman Haters Club, anytime like that. We're just going over scriptures. And look how the time flies.
God.
That's the quickening spirit. That's the comfort the Most High talks about.
Nice.
But let's come back and finish
Deuteronomy.
Deuteronomy chapter 20, yeah.
Deuteronomy chapter 20 verse 3. And shall say unto them, Hear, O Israel, you approach this day unto battle against your enemies. Let your hearts faint, fear not. Let not your hearts faint, fear not, and do not tremble. Neither be ye terrified because of them.
And don't be terrified. Do no evil and no harm shall come to you. Read.
For the Lord your God is he that goeth with you.
Because as long as we don't fear and we're doing right by the Most High, who's there with us?
The Most High.
Again, his name is the Most High. That means ain't nobody gonna come and check him and push him out the way to get to you. Read.
For the Lord your God is he that goeth with you to fight for you against your enemies.
What's the Most High? What's the Most High? What does any father want to do for his kids?
Fight for their children.
Yes. But I'm gonna say this to the dads in here and to the uncles. I'm gonna say it like this: when your child's being a punk and running something scared, what do we say to him?
Stop being up.
You better go out there and fight, or you're going to fight me. Yeah?
Yeah.
So what do you think the Most High is telling the nation of Israel? Y'all stop being scared. Y'all stop fearing everything. Face this battle. It's mostly all that us. Does a father let his child go through anything that he feels the child can't handle? When that child's on somewhere high, where a child might be at? Child might be on a table.
Swimming pool.
A swimming pool.
Yeah.
Swimming pool. Good example.
Mm-hmm.
And the father is in the pool, and the child is at the side of the pool. But the child's looking at the bottom of the pool, not seeing the water is right there. What's the father telling the child to do? Jump in my arms, I got you.
Nice.
Jump, I got you. That child is scared. That child almost urinates himself. Then that father's gonna get that dad yell, right? Jump!
Ooh.
Almost like that verbal judo, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that fear that's instigated, is that out of hatred? Or is that out of love? What does the father want the child to do? Jump so you can see I got you. Jump so you can see I will not let nothing happen to you. This is how the Most High is dealing with the nation of Israel. If you do right by me, I got you. Now, there's other times you jumped, I wasn't there. You hit your head. The other times you jumped in the glass, you cut yourself. I wasn't there. Other times when you made me so mad, I turned my back on you. I told you I'll turn my back on you. And you was hard-headed and stuck in your feelings and stuck in what you thought was right. and you did get hurt. But now the Most High shares our dad. Now the Most High say, do it the right way. I got you. I know you got hurt. I know you got a scar. I know you got a knot in your head. And why'd you get that knot, that scar, and that hurt? Because I wasn't there. Now I'm here. Now, and I'm showing you the right way of doing things, and I got you. Ain't nobody saying you did get hurt. We have been hurt. We've definitely been hurt. We've done some dumb things in our lives too. But he's saying, look, now, I wasn't there then because you made me mad. But now I got you. Let's keep reading.
To fight for you against your enemies, to save you.
Go ahead.
And the officers shall speak unto the people, saying, what man is there that hath built a new house, and hath not dedicated it?
You got a brand new house? You know what? This was when we were in the promised land. You got a brand new house, man, go home. Because instead of you thinking about how to protect your brother, you're going to be thinking about you and what you're about to lose. So you know what? It's better you go ahead and just go on home. We got this. Most likely is with us anyway. Because if you can't think about your neighbor, you can't esteem others better than yourself. Remember in 300? What was the strength of the 300 army from Leonidas now? What, did your shield protect you, or who did it protect?
Man to your left.
It protected the man to your left. That's why the midget couldn't be in the army. Because he couldn't hold the shield up to protect who? He wasn't about protecting himself. He had to protect who? His brother. And remember when he fought before the Spartans were Israelites. Remember that. You had to protect your brother. And as you protected your brother, nothing happened to you. You can put your full energy to make sure nothing happened to your brother. That's how it's supposed to be. But if you're just thinking about what you're going through, what you had going on, you know what? Go home. But that was how it was in the beginning, when we was in the promised land. Now, the battles and the wars we're fighting, we got to realize this: we're pilgrims here. It ain't about my house here that I got to pay a mortgage on. I got to pay property tax on. It ain't about this. Reading on, sir.
Let him go and return to his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man dedicate it.
Go ahead.
And what man is he that hath planted a vineyard, and hath not yet eaten of it? Let him also go.
You haven't had a chance to make that first bottle of wine. You just got it. You just. How soft do we get? Ready?
Let him also go and return unto his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man eat of it.
Go ahead.
And what man is there that hath betrothed a wife, and hath not taken her? Let him go and return unto his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man take her. And the officers shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, what man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted? Let him go and return unto his house, lest his brethren's heart faint, as well as his heart.
Right, so this ain't about being afraid or whatever, but there was a time where we could afford to do these type of things. Go home. All that fear, all that whatever, it's not needed. It's not needed now either, but we can understand, for the time we're in right now, we have to build Israel.
God.
We have to gather Israel.
God.
Zephaniah 2:1, and I'm turning the mic off.
Zephaniah?
Chapter 2, verse 1. 1, 2, and 3.
Zephaniah, chapter 2, verse 1. Gather yourselves together.
Do what?
Gather yourselves together.
Stay separate.
Gather yourselves together.
Go ahead.
Yeah, gather together. O nation not desired. Before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the chaff, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you.
Plagues, diseases, before all the things you see where you can't gather. Listen, they're talking about they're calling it damn. I was reading an article where they were saying that because everybody's like, oh, martial law is going to happen. They're going to do the lockdown like they did in Italy, in America. And I was reading something and it said by law they can't do that. They call it social something where you can't socialize with the next person. You can't do things in groups.
Okay.
right? They're telling people not at their jobs, if you got a lunch break, sit by yourself, right? Or sit 3 feet away from the next person. But the scriptures tell us to gather together, and you're gonna have ones, man, that are gonna wish they could leave their house, because you quoted it earlier about not being able to go from city to city. How many cities away do you live, John? Being up north, a few, right? You live a few cities away, but imagine
From here?
yeah, imagine him being stuck in one city.
Somebody on the north side of Houston?
That's what I'm saying. The north side, in between here and the north side, you're on the southwest side.
Yeah.
Imagine being quarantined to your city. It says gather together, but a lot of people, it says before the decree, before what?
Before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as a chaff,
Right.
before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you.
Yeah, before the anger of the Lord come upon you for what? What is that unity supposed to promote? That healing, right? That unity is that strength, that guard, that protection, like he brought up in 300. The hunchback, he couldn't protect the man next to him. He couldn't unify in a way that was going to protect. So it was like, well, you can't be a part of this. Not that it was personal. It's just that if we in war, you got to be able to protect the man next to you from the thigh up to the neck. That's what the shield did, right? We're all supposed to be one another's shields. Go ahead, finish it up.
Before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you, seek ye the Lord.
What?
Seek ye the Lord.
So I like it because the seeking the Most High is not you sitting by yourself, sitting in your closet. He said, gather together. Then he came back and said, seek the Lord. Why? Because the kingdom of heaven is within you. Within you, within you, within you, within all of us. Seeking the Most High is gathering together.
Us coming together. If Christ is where 2 or 3 are gathered, and the Spirit of Christ is there, then as we keep gathering together, what is there more and more?
The Spirit of Christ.
The Spirit of Christ.
Yep.
We're building the kingdom. That's why Christ said what? The kingdom. I know I said turn the mic off. He said the kingdom come. He
actually did. Come not by observation.
He says the kingdom come by observation.
They actually turned it off.
You're not gonna be able to see it actually coming to the kingdom. Cause everybody is looking for this comet or something to come out the sky. Even though we're waiting for Christ to come also, but it ain't gonna come that way. The kingdom's being built the more we come together, just like this here.
Yeah.
The kingdom's actually being built the more we come together. That's where the safety's at. That's where. Keep reading.
Verse 3. Seek ye the Lord, all you meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgments. Seek righteousness. Seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Lord's anger.
That's what it's time for.
That's the safety. Come into the safety. I know you got more.
I can start right there.
You want to start right there? All right, yeah, we'll end it right there. Again, Mashaba will be back next Wednesday. We'll be back here Saturday also.
Yeah, for being brought about for the Saturday.
What was the scripture we went over before Zephaniah 2:1?
Ecclesiastes 7:1.
Yeah, Ecclesiastes.
That's 7:1.
In the Bible. And then we was in Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 1 through 8.
If y'all got questions on the topic, just hold them. Obviously, the topic is not over with. So hold those. And yeah, we thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all like, share, make sure y'all subscribe to the videos. We got like, what, 20-something people on there? It's thick. It's hefty. It's a hefty audience. Y'all getting a lot, man, with these classes. So make sure you like, make sure you like, share, subscribe to all the different channels. I know we got a lot. That's how we gotta get the word out. With that, we'll end it.
I do have Blog Talk tomorrow.
Oh, Blog Talk Radio tomorrow.
I do have Blog Talk Radio tomorrow morning. In Texas time, that'll be 9:30. No, I think back. Texas time is going to be 10 o'clock. All right, Texas time is 10 o'clock. And that's www.blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba, MASHAHBA. We got that going on. And then also tomorrow evening is ISBHPK Norfolk Live. ISBHPK Norfolk Live. Again, like, share, subscribe. Come check us out and spread the word. Spread the word. We've got to gather together. That's our only safety.
Yep. All All right, if that's it, let's salute them online. Let's say shalom.
Shalom.
We'll see y'all back in class tomorrow. Shalom. You can hit stop and save. You can pick it up and catch up. Everyone else, let's rise and face the east. Jesus. Oh. Precious cows.
Waiting on this to catch up.
How long is the delay? How long is it? 30 seconds?
You didn't say a lot? Did you say it? No.
Yeah, good shit.
Rocket How?
Right.
Bahashem Yahushai.
Ba'ashem Yahushai.
What do you how?
What do you how?
For another day?
For another day.
To do your works.
To do your works.
To do your will.
To do your will.
We ask Yahweh.
We ask Yahweh.
Baba Kushai.
Baba Kushai.
Please.
Please.
Have mercy upon us.
Have mercy upon us.
As your will be